Hi guys, I'm going to start reading Blood on the River, Chapter 23. If you're following along, that's on page 186. If trouble can multiply like rats in grain, then that is what our troubles do in 1609. By midsummer, Captain Smith sends word to the Warawarsiak village that we are to return to Jamestown. A ship has arrived, so there is food. There is also much work to be done. We need to build houses for the new colonists. When I get to Jamestown, I am stunned by what I see. The Virginia Company has sent not only men, but families with women and children. Richard and I watch as two women meet in front of a cabin to talk for a minute. One holds a baby on her hip, and the other has a little boy of 4 or 5 clinging to her skirt. I shake my head. How could they do this? I wondered out loud to Richard. It must be because no one is allowed to say anything bad about Jamestown in their letters back home, says Richard. I nod. The Virginia Company lies to them about how it is paradise here, and how they will find mountains of gold, and they believe the lies. The little boy sees us and grins around the thumb he has stuck in his mouth. I wonder if he will live through the winter. It is strange for me to be living with Englishmen again instead of the Warawarsiaks. Not even Namontauk is with us anymore. It is hard to get used to eating only at mealtime and having my food rationed again. I cut the long sides of my hair and go back to wearing English clothes. I keep my bow, arrows, and moccasins in a corner of my cabin, but I still wear the buckskin carrying pouch with my knife inside hanging at my waist. Some nights I dream that I am back in the Warawarsiak village, or hunting with Kainta and Namontauk in a quiet, snow-filled forest. It is good to see Anne and John laden again. When I first see Anne, my jaw drops, and I think John must have been giving her all his food rations along with her own, because she is very big around the middle. Richard sees my mouth open and elbows me so that I shut it before Anne sees. She's going to have a baby, he whispers. I blush at my ignorance. I am glad Richard warned me before I said something to embarrass her. The ships keep arriving. The rumor is that the Virginia Company is tired of sending a few colonists and having most of them die off, so they're sending a lot, and women too, so that even if many die, the colony will still survive. By summer's end, we have nearly 500 colonists to feed and house. We also have horses, cows, goats, sheep, more hogs, more chickens, and more dogs and cats. There is hardly room to step without landing on someone's foot, a squawking chicken, or a pile of cow dung. We cannot get the houses built fast enough, and we are crammed together almost the way we were on the 'tween deck of the Susan Constant. Arguments flare up nearly every day. The ships have also brought us back Captain Archer and Captain Ratcliffe. They make no secret of the fact that they hate Captain Smith and want to be rid of him. There is a new charter, they say, sent by the Virginia Company. The charter says instead of a president and a council, we will have one governor to rule us. That governor, for now, is Sir Thomas Gates. Then next year, Sir Thomas West de la Warr will arrive to become the Lord Governor and our Captain General. Sir Thomas Gates is on his way to Jamestown on the flagship with the Sea Venture. Step down from your office as president, they order Captain Smith. Captain Smith demands to see this new charter. Captain Ratcliffe folds his arms over his chest. It is on the Sea Venture with Thomas Gates, he says. You will see it soon enough. But the days go by, and the Sea Venture does not arrive. Captain Smith insists he is still our president. Now I see what it means that power is like weights in balance. When someone gains power, someone else loses power. This Sir Thomas Gates, our new governor, has gained power even though he is still somewhere out at sea. And so Captain Smith has lost power. The new colonists do not respect him. When he tries to explain our delicate relationship with the Indians, how we trade and work to keep a fragile peace, they scoff at him. Those savages will understand the power in a musket. That's all they need to know, they say. The day I see smoke rising over the treetops, I know something has gone terribly wrong. 2 of the new settlers come straggling into the fort, dragging wooden clubs, their faces smudged with soot. "Did you see that savage's expression when I lit up his house?" one man asks the other. He makes a mock terrified face and takes a few running steps as if he is escaping something. "Ha ha! And look at this," the other man says. "I found it in a house with a bunch of bones, as if the dead men could take it with them." He pours out the contents of a sack. Necklaces of shiny beads, copper, and tiny beautiful shells go scattering on the ground. I stare in horror. They have robbed the Indians' temples, taken the jewels from the bodies of their dead, set their houses on fire? "How many do you think we killed?" one is asking the other, holding up his club and examining it. My legs go weak. The club is stained with blood. I don't stay to hear the answer, but run to Captain Smith's cabin. My throat is tight with rage, but I choke out the words. "The new settlers," I say. "They're killing and burning." Captain Smith marches to where the 2 men are still gloating, telling their escapades to anyone who will listen. Captain Smith's glowering eyes silence the men at once. He demands to hear it all. The men sheepishly give a full account. A group of our colonists have burned the natives' houses, stolen from their gardens, robbed valuables from their temples, beat the people with clubs, and shot them with their muskets. The natives have become furious and killed some of our colonists. And so the Englishmen feel they have the right to do more killing and burning and stealing. I want to shout at them. How could they do this? They don't care that the natives have saved us from starvation over and over and over again. They don't care that Chief Powhatan himself saved us from freezing and hunger when all our houses burned. They have no hearts, only pride and a feeling that they are superior. They say the natives are savages, but in truth, these ignorant Englishmen are the savages. Captain Smith is as angry as I am. "Are you trying to start an all-out war with the natives?" he shouts. "With 10,000 of them and a few hundred of us? Are you insane?" I can see it in his eyes, the fury and the rage. He wants to punch something, beat someone's face in, punish the men who have done this. Then I see him do the same thing he did so long ago on the ship the day Master Wingfield ordered him arrested. He narrows his eyes. He must be focusing his anger, I think. He is devising a plan to try and change all of this. "I will go up the river and talk to the tribes these men have wronged," he says. "I will work to make peace again. If I do not, it could be the end of our settlement." Captain Smith gathers a few men to sail upriver with him in the shallop. He chooses several men who have been here since the beginning. Then 2 of the new settlers, both gentlemen, tell him how much they want to help him make peace with the Powhatans. They badger Captain Smith to take them along. Finally, he relents. I think these 2 gentlemen just want to get away from our crowded fort and go exploring. Then a new thought strikes me. What if they are not just bored young men who want an adventure? What if they are under the influence of Captain Ratcliffe, Captain Archer, and the others who hate Captain Smith? What if they plan to do him harm? The next morning, they leave. I watch the shallop sail away. There are 6 of them in the boat, and I am glad to see that 3 of the men are Captain Smith's trusted friends. Still, the uneasy feeling does not leave me. That's where we'll stop on page 192.